Hi everybody and welcome along. Today we are going to make a shabby chic tag, quite a large tag. This one measures 3.5 by 6.5 and fit nicely into most journals, I would have thought. So what I've done so far is cut out some quite thick card, as I say, 3.5 by 6.5. And what I'm going to do now to make it into a tag is just cut the top corners off. For that I have a template which is an old credit card or debit card or whatever, and that ensures that each time I get the equal, that they match up, and it's a good idea actually. Even a piece of acetate will do, but if you've got an old rewards card or anything like that, so it is a really good idea. And then if you're doing more than just one for your journal, you make sure that each of them are identical. These are, although they don't look it, they're actually different angles. So if I use that one and then turn it over and use the same one on that side, and then you get good symmetry. Okay. So let's ink around that first before we do anything else. And I'm using the Distress ink in the colour Tea Dye, which is a brown, but it's a fairly light brown. I think it's the lightest brown that Distress ink comes in. You don't have to use this lighter colour. I just thought with Shabby Chic, which is what we're aiming for today, it was enough. It's all it needed really. So there we are, that's inked around, and then I'm going to put a piece of paper on top of that, and this, I'm not sure if you're picking it up, it's just the lightest of sort of beigey pinks. It's really nice, and I've cut it 1/8 of an inch less than 3.5 by 6.5. So when I put it down onto there, I've got the tiniest of little borders all the way around it, and it just shows it up nicely. But I also need to cut the corners on this as well. So same procedure. Cut the corner, flip it over. Make sure you're level with the side, level with the top, and then it's got to be the right angle. There we go. So that is going to just go on there like that, and you'll just get this merest hint of the cream card at the back. But I'm going to ink that as well. I'm going to add lots of lace and froth and frilliness to this. I think with Shabby Chic you've got to have lots of lace. You just have to. So there we are, that's that. So we need to stick that down onto there, and for that I'm using a glue called Collall. You can pretty much use whatever you want really, but I would advise against using glue stick. It's great for a temporary fix, and if you're going to go on and sew around it or whatever, glue stick is fine. But if you want something that's going to last years, then some of your 3-in-1 Fabri-Tac or this Collall is pretty good. The Collall is cheaper than the Fabri-Tac and the 3-in-1, at least in this country anyway. I don't know about anywhere else. So because it does the same job, it would be daft not to use it really. And I've decanted mine into this small bottle which you see, which has got a precision tip, so I'm not putting too much on at any one time. There we are. So the other thing about Collall is it gives you just a minute, well maybe not even a minute, of positioning time. Just want that up slightly more, up to there. With Fabri-Tac etc., you wouldn't have that time. it would be stuck. Once you stick it, it's stuck. So I'm just going to go over it with my hand and burnish it down onto the card. And if you've got any glue that's oozed out or whatever, with Collall, you just rub it like that and the friction balls it up and it comes off. So really, you know, it really is a very good glue. Right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is add some, I'm going to add some music page first. And I've got this sheet out and ready to use. And I thought I had my deckle-edged ruler, I do. So I'm just, this deckle-edged ruler, it is a ruler, it's got measurements on it, they're actually in centimetres, oh no, inches and centimetres. Tell a lie, they're all in inches, all right, okay. And down one side is a crinkly sort of edge, and the other, you can see this, it's like mountains. So, and what you do is you put your ruler where you want to tear it, and then tear against the ruler, and you'll get a crinkly edge. If you do it with this side, you get a very rough edge. So it's really what, you know, decide what you're looking for, really. And hold it down firmly. This music page tears very easily because it's old and soft. And just got a little bit there that hasn't torn, so that's it, it's torn against the ruler edge, and you can see it's just not quite straight like as if you'd cut it. It's got a bit more character to it, so I don't think I need to keep those little ones. Now then, I want it to come over quite a bit, possibly to there, but I want it on an angle, so I'll put my ruler there, like so, and just tear up against it again, exactly the same as what you've just done. There we go. Right, so I don't need any more of that at the moment, so I'll pop that to one side. And this is going to go onto here like this. So I'm going to, I've got some deckle-edged scissors as well, actually. I'm a bit deckle-edge obsessed, to be honest. So with my deckle-edged scissors, I'm just going to cut along the bottom of where the music ends, like that. The music notation, should I say. And then I'm just going to fold that over at the top and cut inside it. Like that, and that should give us a nice piece. Yeah, look at that, it's lovely. Lovely. So I'm going to ink around my music. There's lots of layers on this. I like layers. In the right place. Sometimes it can just look a bit too much. There's a lot of thin layers going on here. Building up to something really pretty, I hope. So there we are. And then we just need to glue that so it's a bit more collal. Should be quite gentle if your music paper is old like mine. You don't want too much glue on or it'll buckle the paper. But as I say, with this little precision tip that I've got on this small bottle, it's much easier to get just a little bit out at a time. So there we go. Right, let's stick this down. Just in a tiny little bit from the edge of the pink. Like so, like that. It's lovely. So I'll just get a... Well, it's a wet wipe that's dried out, so a dry wipe, I guess. And just go around that, make sure that you haven't got any glue seeping out. That's lovely. There we go. Right, now we're going to start on the lace on this side. And for that I've got this. It did actually come, well, it came like this, all gathered up, you know, ready to sew on something to have a nice sort of frilly edge on it. But I didn't want it gathered, so I've chopped it off the gathery bit, and I want it to go up this side like that, but it's quite thin, so what I'm thinking is that I'll actually put 2 layers on. But the first thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue down, otherwise it's just not going to stay put at all. It's going to be awkward. So it's just a bit of glue down there. Just put my lid back on. So I want it just coming over the edge. See, there's a sort of, that sort of shape. I want to catch the bottom of that just right on the edge. And then I know it's going to be straight. So that's that sort of stuck down. But what I want to do is come back over it, because I don't think you'll see that very well. So I want it to line up again with where I was before, which isn't difficult to do. Just line it up over the top like so. That's fine. So I can cut that off now and make sure that it's stuck down kind of semi-well anyway. Right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with a coloured lace, and it's this one, and it is so pretty. It's just gorgeous. Look at that. So I want that to stick down there. So more glue. I think that's the right line. Hope it is anyway. Excuse me. So pop that onto there. Press it down onto the glue. You don't want too much glue because it will seep through. I managed to get some glue seeping through 2 tags that I made the other day, and I didn't notice it till right at the end, and they had to go in a bin. I wasn't exactly delighted by it. So I'm just going to cut off there along the bottom of the card, like so, and turn that over and cut this one off. Like so. Oh, isn't that pretty? It's so lovely. So I'm just going to come in with, don't need that bit there, with a little bit of glue just down here. Also at the sort of top and bottom really. There we go. Right. So the next thing that goes on is the picture, and I've chosen a lady. It's an image from Graphics Fairy, so it's free to everybody and free to use. I just typed in the search bar Edwardian lady, and this is what came up. It's beautiful sepia. It's just so shabby chic. It's gorgeous. And this is going to go over there like that. So as you still see the pinkness, but not all of it. But I have already I've mounted her onto more of the cream card, and I've actually sewn around it, so it just sort of stands out a little bit more detail on it. Right, I do want to stick that onto there, but the thing is that this side is higher than this side, so it's not going to look very good. So what I'm going to do is use dimensional tape down this side and ordinary glue down there, so that it will lift this side up so they'll all be standing evenly. So I have this dimensional tape, which I believe is made by Sizzix. And I'm just going to mark on the back where I want the double-sided dimensional tape to end. So about there. So I'm just going to put strips of this on from the mark that we've made. All the way to the back. You can leave a little gap if you want to. Doesn't need to be solidly. One more just in from the edge. Like that. There we are. So you can see it has a dimension to it. It's not much, but it lifts it up. So I'm just going to take these off. Yeah, yes I am. Never come away easily when you're trying to video anything. Right, so there we are. We've got the double-sided tape exposed, and now all I want to do is add some glue to the bit that doesn't have any double-sided on it. So here. So as I say, that it's not ordinary double-sided, it's dimensional double-sided to raise it up and help make this photograph flat. Right, so we want that to be about there, and we'd quite like it to be square if at all possible. I think that's square. Okay, so now you can press it down. And that's now level, whereas if we just glued it on, it would be a bit higgledy-piggledy going over this lace, that lace. You know, whereas now we've evened all that problem out, and it's sort of standing proud from the card really, which is nice. I like that. So what we are going to do now is a bit of sewing, and we're going to make a little ruffle to go along here. I've got some fabric here. It's got the lightest of light beige patterns on it, and it was a fat quarter that I keep tearing into, and you just snip at the end, rip it down, and you get these lovely sort of frayed edges. But what I want is a little fabric ruffle to go along there. Now I'm lucky, I've got a ruffler foot, but they are expensive, and so there is another way to do it if you don't have a ruffler foot, and I'll show you now how to do that. So make sure that your needle is in a central position, like so, and get your fabric centrally under your foot, and just either tie it off or do a few stitches. And then I have this tool, but it's really a screwdriver. That part of it is a small screwdriver. So the screwdriver that comes with your machine and your tools, that will be fine for this. And you just take your fabric in front of the foot and push it up under the foot. Now take care, because if you sew over that screwdriver, you'll break your needle. You might even knock the timing out on your machine. So really, really take care that you just catch that in. I'm going a bit wonky there, but no mind. And just keep pushing it up. And it does want to go wonky. It just does. It's just kind of par for the course for this. But try and keep it as straight as you can. Take your time with it. Do not sew over the screwdriver. And as you keep going, you kind of get the hang of it really. But don't go too fast. The temptation is to whiz down here, but you'll come to grief because you'll solve your screwdriver. Just tuck it up under the foot. I'm doing a first stretch of this here, the whole width, length that I tore off, and then I've got it for other projects when I need it. You know, if you're sitting doing nothing on a Sunday afternoon, think, oh, I could make some ruffles. Pop them in your box and you've got them ready. So there we are, we're at the end. I'm just going to tie that off. So let's have a look then. There we are, there's our ruffle. Looks lovely. Really useful, you know, for the next time we want, for this time and the next time that we want a bit of ruffleage. So I'm going to put that along underneath her like that. And that's the only sewing that there is, so we're all right. Just going to cut that end bit off where I secured the stitches, cut it off to the size that I wanted, just to there I think. So that's great, I've got all that spare now, waiting for the next time. I think I might put it that way and it'll cover the stitches at the bottom. Yeah, that's nice there. Okay, so I'm going to glue it and what I'm going to do is use the collal, but I'm going to go through where the stitches are because that's kind of the thickest part, so less likely to show the glue. There we are. You can feel where it wants to be there, like that. I'll just leave that for a minute. I'm not exactly certain that I've got enough glue on there to stick it, but we'll see. We'll give it a chance. So the next thing that goes on is this little bow, and this was a fussy cut out of some who knows what. I really don't know. But I'm sure if you go onto Google or Pinterest or whatever and put satin bow in, there'll be plenty pictures of satin bows that you can actually just print out and then fussy cut. Are you sticking? Yeah, I think it is. So let's stick this. We've got the same problem here. If we're going to stick part of it onto this picture, then we need some dimensional tape behind at the top. I'm just going to take a strange shaped piece and put it up there like that, and then I want another one there, and I'm sure that's fine. Take the backing off, come on. I say I do like this scissor because it's very sticky. You know, you feel it's quite secure once it's on. And the rest gets glued. And stuck on. Like so. A little bit of glue seeping out there. Tiny little bit. Get rid of that. So there, it's all beginning to look very pretty, I think, anyway. looking nice, isn't she? Right, so the next thing that I want to do is just add a couple of imitation pearls to it. You can't have Shabby Chic and no pearls, you just can't. So I'm going to use E6000 for this. I'm pretty sure that's overkill and you'd get away with even collal, to be honest. But I've got E6000, so I'm going to use it. And I'm just going to put some in the sewing line of there. Little drop, 1, 2, 3. That's probably enough. These pearls, I mean, I've got them from the pound shop, so they owe me nothing. I've had them for ages as well. Keep using away at them, but it still seems like there's plenty there. And as I keep telling you, E6000 is not an immediate drying glue, so don't expect these, if you're using E6000, to be stuck instantly. They don't. But once they're stuck, they will be stuck. And I'm just going to put a little pearl just in the middle of that bow. Like that. There we go. Lovely. Right, so that's pretty much all the decorating done, really. It's just we just need to put something in the top to make a pretty bow with. I could just put a hole in it. Yeah, I think I will just do that. Get the crocodile out and just mark where the hole wants to go. So I'm just using the grid on my cutting board. So that's the centre, and I want it in a little bit, so about there. And I'm going to use a 3/16 hole. And there we are. Let's get an eyelet to put in there, shall we? Go the whole hog. I've got some lovely copper ones. I sort of could be mistaken for thinking they're rose gold, so that'll do nicely, I think, for our girl, our lady. So just pop that in like so. Push your crocodile to the front, make sure you've got the right settings on it. There we are. That looks pretty, doesn't it? Yeah, very nice indeed. I'll be having to make a shabby chic journal next. Right, so now we want some froth and frothery coming out the top. I have this really gorgeous quality satin ribbon in the most perfect colour. It's gorgeous. It's just got a bit of a crease there, so I'm just going to cut that out. I'm not throwing that out, it's too good. And I just want to put this through here and see how much I want. Pop that through, if we can get it through, like that. Make sure it's double faced this, so it doesn't really matter, but I don't want it wrinkling up like that in the eyelet. That's fine, there we go. So possibly that much. I'll cut it to there anyway. And then some other cream lace, possibly this one, maybe. This is a nice one. I'm just going to push that through with my pencil because I've already got the satin in there, so this hole's getting smaller. That's it, I think. Maybe not. No, it seems to have split itself. Let's see if I can get that through. If not, I'll move on to a different ribbon or lace. Yeah, there we go. That's it. So I've got that. Let's bring that up a little bit. And that up a little bit. Maybe a touch more because the end of that's a bit raggy now. So I'll cut that off there. I've also got some pink. Oh yeah, that would look pretty. Pink, or what do you call it? Oh, organza. Organza, yes. That is what you call it. So I'm going to attempt to get that pushed through there. I might be asking the impossible here. But it'd be excellent if it went. Oh, it's going. Tweezers? Tweezers, anyone? No? Oh yeah. Let's see if I can pull this through. Yeah, there we go. Bit of persuasion. But it's there. Lovely. Right, let's cut that off then. About there. I'll come back to tidying all this lot up, but I just want to put a bow around it, and I want a big frothy bow. So I'm just going to hold those there with a clip. Like that. And I'm going to use the same lace that we used down there, because I love it basically, and it's going to give us, it's thin, so we'll be able to tie a bow in it, but it's going to look frothy, which is what I'm after. I'm after frothy today. So let's make sure we've got that all nicely fanned out. And I'm being brave tying this on video, as you know. That's just a little too long. Oh, that's so pretty. Ah dear, it's so pretty. So I'll just cut that off there. Right, so all that remains really is just to, I mean, if you wanted to, you could add a little drop of glue in there. I think we'll be all right. So I'm just going to tidy these up. I'm just going to cut a V in that. And the other side of it, so it's quite fine that. Cut off that raggedy one that we had, and there we go. How pretty is that? It's very pretty, is what I would say. So let's have a look at it against this fabric and see what we think of it, eh? There we are. A shabby chic tag for your journal. Pretty. So thanks for watching. I hope that you have a go. There's loads of variations you could do on this. I mean, there absolutely is. But there we have it anyway. My version of the shabby chic tag. Thanks for watching. Bye.